Hey, happy Genocide Day. How's everyone going? How's everyone's how's everyone's chatbots? Um, how's everyone's EMF attacks going? How's everyone's genetically enhanced cells going? How are your genetically enhanced cells to make you exude highly conductive piezoelectric elements out of your skin? How's that all going for you? Mine's going real shit. You know, I got this one place in the back of my neck, and that's why I got this stupid thing on the back of my head. See, um, and they just drill into there, and then it's amazing. I have. I better turn that squeal off. I always have that squeal. Let's get rid of the squeal. It's amazing, right? I have. They go there, and then I think it probably exudes more of these elements by applying the EMF. So it's not just that you've got these elements, like that you've had your cells genetically modified to exude a piezoelectric elements out of it, made of keratin and collagen, which I'd say the Morgellons people going from way back, they I think they were the test for this, and I think this is the mechanism they're using to tether us to this shit cunt system that is designed to drive people absolutely fucking insane. And it also assists in producing the voices into your head, but also the tinnitus as well. So I mean, I'll give you the full basis of what am I basing that on. Well, it's pretty simple. Um, Excuse me, I'll just get that there. I need to shut this squeal up just a moment. Where is that? So yeah, I'm in hell. Look at me. Look at this. This is how I'm living. Look at this. Um, you know, this is hell. They've produced hell on earth. And I think these cretins love that they've produced hell on earth. Because they're a bunch of filthy, rotten, materialist Satanists. And they don't even believe in spirit. They only believe in here and now, this material, um, mundane world. And a lot of people disagree with that. They'd say that no, they are very spiritual. They're just spiritually wicked. And I guess, yeah, that's at the highest levels. That's the truth. Like, but even the spiritually wicked can make the materialists do their bidding. And I think that's how we got to where we are today. Um, Greed is a great driver of men and greedy women. I meant that figuratively. So, uh, what I don't even know why I'm making this video. Probably because I couldn't be bothered reading any more shit online, and I can't be bothered chatting to another fucking AI bot to find out stuff that it's probably half of the story. Um, I'm gonna get this stupid thing off the neck. Um, and yeah, I'm tired, you know. And I know everyone out there's exactly the same. And I just look at all these people going around in circles. It's just disgusting what they've done. It's so hard to even put words um, to describe just how disgusting the act of what they've done actually is. Like, it's It's indescribable, and I still to this day have difficulty understanding what drives these people. And so let's talk more shop, shall we? Because I think that's a depressing topic. Not that any of this is going to be greatly lifting. When we're talking of truth and what has befallen humanity. Shall we take it from the top? 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing, testing. We got this. It's all working. All right. So here's what we've got. I'm just thinking out loud. We've got like a situation where our cells have been manipulated. So apparently you can put CRISPR in these microparticles, the whole CRISPR setup to splice DNA, and you can just send it off into the air and people can inhale that shit and then it can modify your DNA. You don't even need a jab. That's actually insane. And so, when you cross-reference that with the transhuman agenda, what do they want to do? Well, it's what they're talking about is tethering people to the cloud. And so if you cross those two things together, and then you look at the IEEE specifications, and then the push towards rolling out 5G towers on every corner, and then the up and coming 6G rollouts that are going to be coming, and then all the proliferation of wireless and Wi-Fi and everyone holding these crazy devices in their pockets that can modulate them. I mean, it's it paints a picture, doesn't it? And so, yeah, I've got fibers coming out of my body, and I believe a lot of people do, but they don't realize that they're there. It took me 2 years to actually figure out what the hell was happening. I thought it was landing on me. I was wrong. I wrote a heap of articles about it. I did videos. I was like, yeah, sure, that's what was happening. Never even considered that they were actually coming out of my skin. There was no sign of it. And until you get a microscope and have a look, there's no sign apart from what you're feeling. And if you're watching this, you're probably one of those people who are feeling sensations on your body, in your body, on the skin, under the skin, in the organs. All of it can be explained through piezoelectric elements, especially if they've got iron in them. That makes them both electric and magnetic in their coupling. They can couple both to the electro and magnetic part of an electromagnetic wave. Now, every EMF is made up of the two. One's on the perpendicular and one's running this way. One runs this way, one runs this way. And if you've got both, then you are extremely affected by electromagnetic frequencies. Now, here's the question. Has everyone been triggered to produce these electromagnetic sensitive elements out of their body or in their body? Or can they just switch this shit on specific people when they desire to have control over them, like flipping a switch? Imagine a CRISPR setup goes into the body, invades the cells, and it sits there waiting for instruction. You modulate it with the right frequency or voltage gradients that define the instruction. and the instruction tells the cell to produce whatever it needs. I feel like that's what I'm experiencing. I feel like what they can do is they can focus in on any part of your body and then induce a proliferation of fibers. The more they hit you, the more you produce. If they don't hit you, you don't produce them. And so then you hook that up with the old technocratic, you know, techno twats that I like to call them. So you link that all into your techno twat systems, your Facebook and your wah rah rah, your emails, all your SMS, all your conversations that you have with everyone. And you find the people that you don't like. That is those people who are too smart and have figured out what the hell's going on. Or they are going to cause trouble for the fascist, genocidal, eugenics / mind control over humanity agenda. And then you just hit them with this shit. And all of a sudden they become ultra sensitive to everything, living in a sea of electromagnetic frequencies and completely unable to survive because they go insane. And then they go to their doctors and they tell them that. And then they go, you're insane, and give them antipsychotics that make them want to kill themselves. Because most of those antipsychotics will make you want to kill yourself. Trust me, I was put on them once. It lasted about a week. I was pacing up and down the hallway. I couldn't even sit and watch the television because I got no joy out of anything. It stripped all the dopamine out of your brain. So I felt like I wanted to die. And so, but that's the plan, you see, for some. Because once they've gotten you committed, they get you on the shit medications and then they get you to kill yourself. It's much easier to get you to kill yourself if you've got the pharmacology behind it as well, right? Yeah. We'll just chemically switch off all your dopamine so that nothing gives you a satisfaction. None of this is by accident. It's a system set up. They've thought all of this through. Think about it. In the same way they've thought through I mean, look at the commonalities, right? Look at your Lyme disease, right? Because they're deliberately infecting people with that shit. The same thing. Look at your commonalities. Morgellons, Lyme disease, fibromyalgia. Oh, that's a new one, isn't it? When did that appear? Well, at the same time as all the AMF started flying around. And so it's all connected. It's all part of the same filthy bunch of cretins who tell us bullshit stories about health and about give us like stupid, you know, ideas about eternal life and we're gonna have a vaccine soon that'll be able to cure your cancer, especially for you. Yeah, I'm sure, right? Oh, I'll be lining up for that one. Yeah. Why do I feel like only idiots are gonna trust that shit? Um, and so yeah, I don't know. I'm rarely lost for words, as you can see, but they're never. I don't know if they're very useful. But well, I don't know what the point of this was. I just wanted to ramble, and I'm sitting here with my EMF shielding here. I should have at least put a nice background. Look, we could make it look like the Taj Mahal. Hang on. Um. All right, there we are. That's better. Now we don't look like we're in. That's nice, isn't it? That's better. Bit more regal. Okay. And so what am I saying? I'm saying that we're that we're in an amazing place right now. It's called I don't know actually. We're in quite a spot, aren't we? You know, like I can keep on theorizing about what the reality is, but I mean it's pretty clear to me that what people are experiencing mostly the targets, you've got an AI in your head. And yeah, you might have people, but those people have got the fucking AI in their head. And they may not know. They may just be people are being incentivized or hired, or they're ex criminals and they let them get out so they and then become their little puppet. Or they might be people who are just completely mind controlled. They're not doing this just to half the populace. Yeah, if I go and speak to any of my old mates in Melbourne, they think I'm crazy. So the question is, how hands off are they on the other people? Is the like and this is the thing. This like we keep going. Like a lot of people keep going. The COVID jabs. Look at what's in them. Da 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 da. It's like yeah, but I look at the figures, and this all started back in the early 2000s. So what was happening then? Chemtrails? Yeah, they were doing chemtrails. What else? Are they putting it in the medications? Were they spreading it through ticks? Were they, you know, putting it in our food? Were they putting it in our water supply? Or were they still formulating the plan and just testing it on a small number of people? TI1 voice is really great, by the way. You should be using it if you don't. The statistics in there is really starting to look interesting as more people go on. 400 people or something odd now who have signed the declaration. And yeah, there's a graph that shows the each year how many people, what year their targeting started. And it's a really good one, actually, because it gives us a real idea. You know, this like some people go though, oh, I was targeted when I was born in '68 and stuff like that. Okay, I call them an outlier. When you start to look at the massing and the way it's actually there's a clear trend upward, and it all sort of starts around the start of 2000 through to yeah even later, where you start to see a real uptick where it starts to increase each year, even 20 from 2010 to now. That's where the growth occurred. And each year got increasingly more people, which is a very interesting statistic, right? It starts as a researcher, I'm sort of going, well, that's very profound. What does that tell us? You know, we're talking about brain manipulation. We're talking about voice to skull's been around for years before that, right? And then those before that period of uptick, they weren't part of the general populace rollout. They were they were early test subjects, or they were dissenters, or people that the government wanted to get rid of for one reason or another, usually targeted because of being activists, or maybe they were just test subjects. Whereas I think there was from around the Brain Initiative 2013 through till now has been a real push to actually add more and more people onto the system. They needed people, the right people, to be brainwashed to enough to accept taking the poison in the way that they did it. Like media manipulation and pressure, like they pulled all the stops, like for the pandemic, like the media and getting your rock stars to come out on TV and say, "Oh, you better do it." Uh, they did the guilt trip. They did the "we'll give you a fucking hot dog with your jab." They did a whole lot of stupid things, which only just made it more obvious to me. But a lot of people fell for it, so that's why I say. Actually, a friend, she's Aussie, but she worked over in um, California around the same time as the jab was going out and stuff. And she said one of her friends who was adamant that she wasn't going to get it, and she was a nurse. She was as a nurse. I forgot to mention that they were nurses, both of them. And her friends told her. Her friend tells her this. She's like, "Yeah, I was just walking along the hallway, and like everyone was talking about having to get this thing, and she's like, I'm not going to get it." And then she's walking along, and she reckons she hears in her own voice, in her head, "Oh, I may as well just get the jab." Like that was what they were doing, like playing this. Like we know people who are on my channel, you all know, right? Like the V2K and stuff. But that's the techniques they were using. This is just on a nurse in a hospital, right? So my feeling is they probably have been brainwashing the health professionals well before the pandemic started. And they were probably doing the same thing for the authorities as well. And I reckon the army they've been doing it for years and years and years. Some of the older targets, they come out of the military families, military often have a story of multi-generational um, attacks. They're aware of this, and people who did service, those that they should have been treating the best, they're the ones that they tested on. They're the ones that they really fucked up because they had an excuse. And that's why they use drug users, they use military, they use anyone who has got an excuse to call them crazy, right? Oh, they're just crazy. They're just hearing noises. They're just crazy. It's their favorite little like bullshit scam that they've got going. They're just crazy. Don't listen to them. We're gonna kill them through this mechanism. We're gonna ruin their lives. We're going to destroy their families, and at the same time call them crazy while torturing them to death. Where do these sick people come from? Can someone help me? Like, where the hell do these sick people come from? Actually, I might have just said it. They're from hell. And they want to bring it to Earth. And they've done a fucking good job so far, if you ask me. And so, again, I don't know where I'm going with this. This is another one of my rants. It's Saturday night. I should be sitting down with mates, having a beer and having a laugh and listening to some good music. But I'm not. I'm sitting here in my box that's getting increasingly small as I try to protect myself from psychopaths with EMF weapons and ability to change my DNA to make it express piezoelectric and metallic elements out of my fucking skin. And, that's not so bad. If you could actually, like, have people understand that. But there's only it's like there's these it's like there's a only one awake person per 100 kilometers square or something. Like there's one there and there's one over there and there's one over there. It's like they're never in the same place. But I think more and more people Like I go into my Facebook, I got over 4,000 followers on Facebook. I used to have like 500, and within 6 months, that's when they switched off the censorship. That's when they decided, oh, I know the best way to deal with these people. We'll put them all in together like a big echo chamber, and they can sit there and talk about this shit till the cows come home. And then if anyone says, hey, there's thousands of people all talking about it, it's like, yeah, no, that's just online social media contagion. They're all just supporting each other's delusions. That's how this happens. It's a supported group delusion. No, that's 4,000 people who registered to my fucking account because they're all going through the same fucking thing. It's not a group fucking delusion. Excuse my French. Uh, I just don't know where to go with all this. Um, yeah. So there's this thing called, okay, I've got so many things going on in my head. There's this thing called phase cancelling. You know what it does? Yeah, you might be familiar with audio noise cancelling, not counselling. We all probably need a good bit of counselling, not because we're delusional, but because we're dealing with psychopaths. And so who are trying to traumatize us to death. And so I think yeah, RF phase cancellation. Look that shit up. You know, you can do noise cancellation. All you do is flip the phase. Now what's that doing? You got a wave, it goes up, positive, negative, up and down, up and down, up and down, right? Okay, and so if you can match that and just reverse it, then what you get is the positive and the negative cancel each other out and you get nothing. So you literally turn energy into two lots of energy cancel each other out. Those two waves cross over and create nothing. Isn't that cool? Yeah. You can do this with RF and you can do it in nano, like in with a resolution quick enough to be able to do it in real time. And it's all really solid RF components that you can you don't even need to solder. You're looking at thousands of dollars worth, but you could do this in basically it all screws together, all RF joints and stuff. And if you've got the right antenna, so one antenna picks up the signal, it goes through, it does a phase shift, in nanoseconds. It'll do this. It's not through a digital platform. These are all solid state components, right? And it'll run through and it'll flip that phase and rebroadcast, and that will cancel out your EMF waves. You could do this in your house. You probably have the FCC at your door, but you could do this across an entire. I'm not sure if it'll work actually, but you could do it across a much larger area too. But yeah, I imagine you've got massive issues with that because MIMO is very focused on specific areas, and so wherever obviously it's the same with noise cancellation. It's like if I put my microphone here for noise cancellation, then it'll cancel for where I am. But if I put it on the other side of the room, it's cancelling for where that is. And so this is your problem. So this sort of solution would be a personal solution, right? So wherever you happen to be sitting, it could take the EMF and cancel it in real time. How much? Probably looking at the cheapest 2,500 probably to build. And yeah, some would say highly illegal. And but I think last time I checked, like terrorizing someone to death in their home is probably illegal as well. And so, you know. Anyway, yeah, maybe I think taking over someone's free will as well, so that they don't have the ability to be able to make decisions for themselves. I think that's illegal as well. And I'm pretty sure Nuremberg had a few points as well about putting elements in people's bodies when they haven't actually requested or agreed to having them put there. And you could even apply that to those people who were coerced with their jobs in that equation as well, which makes these people violators to a degree that goes so many times beyond anything that we might have seen in that war. Yeah, so I don't know what my I want to say, yeah, let's go. Uh, James Martinez. I saw a really good interview with James Martinez on Ti Dave's channel. Amazing. Go watch that shit. That's really good. He at least seems to have some kind of idea of a solution, which even though it's as he said, how do we stop this? Well, we have to actually get up and stop it. Like, we have to get up and go and stop it. That's what we need to do, not scroll through another feed or write another article or make another video because this is the prison that we're in. The online environment is the prison. Like, it's the tether. We're tethered to these stupid fucking screens and we don't even see each other's faces. I don't know. I want to say I've got a solution, but it's, I've got a bot observing everything I do, just like each and every one of you do. Anyone who wants to create a solution, it's keeping a special eye on them. You know what I mean? And I'd say it's even putting its hand out in misleading them as much as it possibly can so that they publish a load of bullshit. I'm no exception. Far out. The number of times I've been fooled by the machine, mate. Hmm. Ah. And so we're just, what are we doing? We're going around in circles. Round and round we go, round in circles. And just dealing with the fact that, I'm being hammered. I can't even sleep. I have to take, like, I've been taking a pill. Like, literally I got 7 pills off my doctor about 7 weeks ago, and I've been through 3.5. But so once a week where I've been having something, and yeah, but it's just nightmare. Like, this is a nightmare. Like, the shittest thing about these slimy cretins is they just go and do this heartlessly and cold. They put, like, and it's not just like, oh, we're just going to take over your minds. It's like I look at, I don't know if people know Fleur Ren. I've posted some of her stuff before, but you look at the stuff that she's going through, and I've seen other people in the same situation as that, and it's abhorrent. Like, the level of depravity and These people are just twisted, sick motherfuckers. I didn't even know this level of evil existed. And to this day, with my narrative, I still push for that to be a case, maybe because I can't see how people could be so fucked up. Oh gosh. And so James Martinez, he says we need to demand and state our sovereignty and say we won't stand for this anymore. What does that look like though? What? We need like people in the streets, right? We can't just sit at home screaming onto message boards and social media feeds. But as I said, it's like they've spread out the people they're attacking like this, one every 100 kilometers. So how the fuck does that look? I guess it's a point like, where it gets to critical mass. But by that point, like, look at what you go through. Look at what people have gone through already. And so imagine they turn this on in anyone. There's going to be more people to tell them, okay, it's this or that. But still to this day, I think people are waking up as to how it's working. But we don't have control. Like our minds can be modulated, our moods can be altered, our attention can be taken, and then our bodies can be made to excrete materials that make us vulnerable to EMF frequencies. It's just abhorrent. Um, anyway, this is a shit video. I'm gonna get off here. I hope everyone's doing better. That wasn't much of a pep talk. It was more just thinking out loud. I hope everyone's all right. All right, ciao.